All right, hopefully you can hear me. It looks like the PowerPoint came back up after I left and came back in. So it is second session, a second portion of the lecture today on October 19th for landscape class. So we will continue. If somebody can just give me a thumbs up so I know I'm not alone talking to a box out there. All right, Larry, thank you. Catherine, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, James, thank you. All right, I can confidently move ahead now. All right, so let's talk about, we talked about in the previous about missed lectures. Make sure you contact me or research everything first before you contact me. Check with your fellow students as well if you miss any lectures. All the information, like I said, is recorded and put online. Grading, keep track of your grades in the grade book on Blackboard. Make sure that you are monitoring that at least weekly. Not only what your grade is, but make sure I'm putting the right points in as well. So make sure that I'm entering them according to what I respond back on the email for your assignment for each packet. So if I put in 100 points, make sure I don't put in 10 points. Or I did have one semester, it was supposed to be 90 points for the student, 90 points for the packet for the student, and I put in 900. Yeah, that does happen. Fortunately, the student was very honest, and I couldn't figure out why he was getting an A all the way through the entire semester with these huge amounts of. I guess I should have set off a red flag, but didn't catch that. He caught it and came to me about it. So monitor your grades. I put this in the ICRs as well as the announcement and in the syllabus. There again are your drop dates if you feel like you need to withdraw from the class. All the assignments will be on Blackboard. The assignments, the emails for announcements. You do receive an email when an announcement is put out automatically as well. And there again is the start here button. I see some other issues with my PowerPoints. So we'll get that correct. Student communication, it's again, I'm going to repeat this. I'll read through it. I know you're not supposed to read PowerPoints, but this is very important to me, and I hope it is important to you. Student communication states it's my goal to have better communication between student and instructor. I will try to answer all questions completely, especially with online situation, in a way that I feel is best for the student. So now, right now, when the student asks the question, it's the instructor's responsibility to ask the question to his best ability with the information given. In the process of answering the question, I'm sorry, in the process of answering the question, the student receiving the answer from the instructor may interpret the answer in a way that does not answer the question, or the response may have answered the question in part. But now it's back to the student's responsibility. So it's kind of like in throwing a ball back and forth. First, the instructor, the student has the ball first, and then by asking the question, he gives the ball to the instructor. So now it's back to the student after the question was answered the first time. The student does not feel their responsibility was answered. It is the student's responsibility to ask the instructor to answer the question again to clarify the question. Don't blow it off. Don't like, shoot, that non-instructor doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about, the way he answered it, and just say, okay, yeah, okay, fine. Continue to ask the question until you get clarification. If it takes us meeting separately, or if it takes me diagramming, I have a whiteboard available here, and I'm not very good at it. It doesn't draw real straight lines like an AutoCAD, but maybe I have to diagram something, but keep after me until it's clear to you, because other students may have that same question. And if it's not clear to you, it's probably not, the answer is not clear to you, it's probably not clear to them. So please keep after me until I answer it to satisfy the question. And the process will bring the student to a point of better understanding of the subject and help the instructor to better communicate with all students. This is to help communication to improve both sides. And I've said this example in other classes before. I was at a seminar, and it wasn't on this topic of communication, but this person giving the seminar had this example, which I thought was great for communication. He said, it's so important to make sure you're not only using the right words, but the inflection of your voice and the grammar in which you're using it. And I'm no English teacher or anything like that, but I tried my best with what I have. And he made this point by making this statement. He said, "What if I come up to you and say, I didn't say you took the pen?" And he goes, "Well, another way to rephrase it is saying, I didn't say you took the pen, or I didn't say you took the pen," or it could say, "I didn't say you took the pen." How many different interpretations do we get out of that one statement based on the inflection of my voice, the emphasis on the different words? So asking the question, especially online, if you put it in chat, I'm going to interpret it one way. You may meant it another. You can turn on your mics if I didn't get it right. Please help me better communicate, and that will help everybody. It will help the class as a whole. This will help you through life too. It helps me. I'm supposed to be this great communicator, right? Well, my wife, it really depends how I say things, how it comes across based on the answer that she gives me or the feedback she gives me. And sometimes I look at myself and I go, what the heck did I just ask? Because that wasn't close. I must have asked it wrong or stated something wrong. So, take the responsibility on and try to help the other person understand. The other person being the instructor in this case. All right, so we'll go to what are we going to? We're going to go to the lessons now. If I can find them here. And we'll go over the lessons and see what's ahead of us for this week. All right. Go back to sharing my screen. All right. And so hopefully you can see the lessons for the week. This is packet 1. Again, everything is under lessons right here. Here's the start here button. I had a video on that I set out. Information on there about how the whole class going into the syllabus, all these buttons that review the buttons, what is due each week, as far as the date the assignment packet is due on each Monday. It goes all into that. How to send emails, all that information is in there. So announcements, again, you'll be receiving all the announcements, and we can go over to that, and you can see the announcement video and all the announcements that I sent over starting back on October 7th. All right, so that was a little while ago, over 10 days ago. All right, so announcements, lessons, check your grades often. We talked about that. There is some help on Tutor 24/7 for AutoCAD and some things. YouTube is another great source. Course eval, I talked about that in there. You probably know about evaluations. I really need your evaluations towards the end of the semester. Make sure that you are filling that out last week of the semester or the last couple weeks of the semester. I really need your feedback. Here's where you enter Blackboard Collaborate as well, and this is where all the tests will be posted. All right, so we'll go back to lessons here. Here at the top, it will have a due date and then all the attachments that has to do with the week's lessons. Now, not all the PowerPoints are posted yet. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So I have probably one more PowerPoint. I think that maybe need to be posted on there. I will try to have them posted by 5 a.m. on every Sunday. 5 a.m. every Sunday. So if you want to review or kind of take a look at it early Monday or late Sunday evening or just kind of see what's ahead. This gives you a little bit of jump on it. You can start formulating questions already just by maybe just glancing over it. Maybe it doesn't make sense or something. I don't put all the information in here. A lot of it we're going to be discussing as far as what goes into each assignment. I put as much detail to get you going, but there might be some small details that you need to review either on the recordings or be in the lecture and take notes on. All right. So I put a link here. I'll try to do this every week. It's not a promise, but to review everything through all 4 labs. So each day is 1 lab. Each assignment, or each packet is 1 week. Each lab is 1 day, and each assignment falls within that day. It doesn't have to be on that day. Again, everything is due by 12:30 on this date up here for this packet. All right, so don't send in individual pieces. You can send things in. You can send the entire packet in early if you're done. If you're done by Thursday afternoon or say Friday morning, you've knocked it out, you're completed, go ahead and send your packet in. And that way you don't have to worry about it over the weekend or worry about having it on Monday. Monday has a tendency to be crazy for everybody, whether you're working or in class or life in general. Monday's just like this morning. I went to make a PDF or something to send to somebody, and the PDF writer wouldn't work. My converter. I was like, what? It's worked all semester. Worked fine. I had to go through a whole process of downloading again, find out, where we have this access through TCC. So I had to go pull that email. This whole process. Monday fell apart right out of the gate for me. So you never know. So there again, you can turn it in when you're completed. Assignment 1, so you'll read the syllabus, which I've attached. Didn't attach up here, and I need to attach it, but it is within announcements. It was sent at ICRs, and I apologize. I'll get that attached up there. It should have been attached, but it's in numerous places already. And read through that, make sure you understand it, make sure you know what you're agreeing to, and sign it. And then you will take a picture of the sign page and send that in, or scan it if you have a scanner, send that in. So that will be on packet 1. Make sure you sign and date it, and make sure you read the entire syllabus so you know what you're signing. It's always a good idea with any kind of documents that you're signing. Make sure you understand it as well, what you're agreeing to. Assignment 2, watch the video first, how to email the instructor, the correct way to email. I won't go through that now, but there is a certain way to email. And basically what that's doing is you email that way, it's putting the class number in the email, in the top of the email. And when I get so many emails, because I'm going to be getting attendance emails from this class, from other places, I need to identify what class, because that's how I save all your emails for documentation, especially for attendance. I save them into a class folder, and it's a lot easier, and make sure I know what class that you're in. Memorizing your names between 3 or 4 classes gets a little taxing on an old guy like me. So make sure you email the correct way. Again, responding to an email, you just hit respond. You don't have to go in through that process. But when you're sending a new packet, a new email, make sure you use that way. Watch the video on that. So you'll send me an email and just say, hey, this is for packet 1, assignment 2, email. That's all you have to say. You don't have to put any great length in it. And then I'll respond back. Great, thank you so much, got it. And that's what you will print out or save. You can save it as a Word document however you want, and that will be assignment number 2. Very easy. Assignment 3, how to create a master title block. So you're going to create in AutoCAD an 8.5 by 11, 11 by 17, a C and a D sheet. This will be in one file. This will be your master title block file. So for every assignment, every CAD assignment, the first thing you will do is you'll open up the master title block. And the next thing you'll do It doesn't matter what the assignment is. If it's a brand new assignment, open the master title block. And then the next thing you'll do is save as whatever the drawing is. So save as landscape of front yard, let's say. Let's just say that was an assignment. So you'll save it as landscape of front yard. And now your master title block gets tucked away. And now you have the 4 sheets, A, B, C, and D sheets, at your access in this new file that says landscape the back, front yard. And now you can go to the assignment, and the assignment calls for 11 by 17. So you can delete all the other sheets and use just the 11 by 17 sheet, because that's all you're going to PDF are the 11 by 17 sheets, because that's what the assignment requires that. And there was a question that just popped in. Let me open up the chat box. Iman, good to have you in class. I'm not sure if I welcomed you this morning, but this afternoon, but good to have you in here. Again, I had you in previous classes. Good to have you back. The question, do we have to write the packet 1, lab 1, assignment 1, or assignment 1? Great question. No, you don't. You only have to write that information for assignment number, what you're referring to as the assignment number, PK1, Lab 1, Assignment 1. That number will be for everything else that is either that has a title block and border. Only when it has a title block and border where you have to put that on. All right. Hopefully I answered that. Good enough? Good? Maybe? All right. Hopefully. Ask me another question if I didn't have. All right, you're welcome, Iman. Yes, Larry, go ahead.
That wasn't clear.
Okay.
Do we put that on everything we turn in to you? Is that what you're saying?
You put it on everything that has a title block.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That's, well, as far as I know, that's everything, but I guess it's not, is it?
Well, no, because your syllabus that you sign won't have a title block.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And then there is one other assignment that's coming up actually this week. We'll talk about in a second that will not have a title block as well. So there's a couple things that won't, but everything that has a title block will have the assignment number written in the appropriate box. All right. Hopefully that answered it, Larry.
While I'm here,
Yeah.
I have 2019 downloaded on my laptop here. If I download 2020, does it override that, or is it a separate one?
You may have to do an uninstall first on 2019.
Yeah.
And then download 2020.
Do I lose all my 2019 stuff?
If you save all your files to a separate file folder, no, you won't. What will happen is 2020 can read down to 2019, so it can open them, open the 2019s, no problem.
Oh, okay. That's great.
All right. Cool. All right. Thanks, Larry, for that. James, so all DWGs and some PDFs. Okay. So James is asking about I think you're asking about the assignment number on all DWGs. Okay, so James says correct. So all DWGs will have a title block and border. And so they will have the assignment number. Now you will be making a PDF of all DWGs, so therefore they'll have that assignment number in there. But there will be some assignments that you'll convert to DWG that will not be on a title block and border that do not require the assignment number. And and there are going to be very few of those. Everything else that has a title block will have an assignment number that will, and all DWGs will be converted to a PDF. And of course, the PDF will have the title block and border that has the assignment number. James, how did I do? All right, I did good. All right. All right, so that answers that. And Zach, thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. everything was clear for you on that. And I appreciate that feedback, Zach. Because sometimes I would say any questions, I don't hear anything. I'm like, okay, well, they either lost connection or left the room. Larry, go ahead.
Do I uninstall the 2019 first and then install 2020?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to try to download 2020 without doing uninstall, you can try it. It may give you an error, but they keep track of who has what. And I'm just thinking they're going to read that you have AutoCAD on there. They're going,
Yeah.
you can't have two versions. So that's why I would do. Make sure all your files are backed up. You don't have anything open, and then uninstall.
Okay. All right.
Right.
I'll give it a shot.
All right. All right. Thanks for all the questions, guys. Appreciate that. Let's see. So one master title block. So we use that for all the DWG drawings, all the AutoCAD drawings. You'll open that immediately and do a save as. That way you'll always have the completed master title block. And we'll talk about in a second about how to make all those, or there's a video on how to make them, excuse me. Now, for the 8.5 by 11, 11 by 17, there is not a template. 8.5 by 11, 11 by 17, there is not a template. Right up here in the attached files are examples of those title blocks. So there is 8.5 by 11 with the dimensions, and you do not put the dimensions on there. These dimensions are just for your use. And 11 by 17. And there's 11 by 17. And it tells you how to make the C and the D sheet. All right, the C and the D sheet. So all title blocks, when you turn in this assignment number 3, and you turn that in and have all the title blocks done, you will fill out all the title blocks completely. Any space that is not filled out will be marked incorrect. So let's say we have on one of these, on these two, we have revision date. You don't know what the revision date is. You probably won't even have a revision date. Does anybody know what you would put in a space like revision date when you don't have a revision date? Or if you don't know the information, what would go there? Anybody know? NA. Thank you, Brittany. James, very good. Exactly, NA. So on this master title block, you need to fill everything out. So drawn by, I hope you can fill that out okay. If you can't, we need to have a serious talk. But units. Well, if you set your units in your master title block to architectural inches, put that in there. That's fine. You may have to change it for every drawing, but at least you have it filled out, right? If you put NA in there for the master title block, I would accept that because I know you paid attention to it and you put something there. If you skip over something, I don't know if you intentionally skipped over it because you didn't know it or you just missed it. So whenever you go into industry, everything in the title block has to be filled out because the assumption is if something's not filled out, it's like, well, then there's a problem, there's an error. It's not like, oh, the person just didn't have to put it in because there was no revision date. So they're going to have to take time to track you down to find out what information goes in there. So in the master title block for units, if you didn't set your units, put NA. It's not really scale. You could put 1-to-1 because everything is going to be drawn to 1, or you could put NA for the master title block. Revision date could be NA. The due date, if you want it, you can put NA, or you could put, when does it due? Monday? Lost track already. Oops. The 26th. You can put the 26th on there. October 26, 2020. You can put that. Now, you'll save that as master title block. You'll send that in as a DWG and one PDF. You'll PDF all 4 sheets into one PDF. You'll send that in, and then when you go to open it for a new assignment, open the master title block, do a save as, whatever the new assignment's called. Then you'll delete the sheets you don't need, and then the sheet that you are going to use, you'll have to, of course, put in some new information. Drawn by, you won't have to put your name in again. Due date, you may or may not, depending when that's due. You may have to change that. Revision date, we probably won't have any revisions, so you would just leave NA in there. Usually we'll only have, until we get to the final project, we'll only have one sheet of a project, maybe two. So we have one sheet, you can just leave it sheet 1 of 1. Project name, that's going to change every time, and project number, of course, will change every time. For project number, let's look at project number for a second. The way you get a project number is you look at what packet you're in, what lab it falls under, and what assignment it is. So let's take this, let's take the final, the master title block. So each title block in the master title block file will have this information for assignment, assignment number. It will be PK1. It was just like Iman put up here. It's that format. PK1. And this will be LAB2, ASSIGN period 3. That is the format for this master title block. That will go on every single sheet. The only thing that's going to change on assignments is the numbers in there. So PK will stay the same, but a different packet if it's a different week. Week 2, week 3, whatever that is. The lab, depending where the lab falls, that number will change. LAB will stay the same, but the lab number will change. The assignment number will change. ASSIGN period will stay the same on every title block, but the number will change depending what the assignment is. I'm going to stop there for a second and see if there's any questions on it. I'll give you a second to post or open up your mic or raise your hand. Or so that's on a packet number, which goes right. I'm sorry, project number, which goes right here. Project number. All right, that's on these two sheets. Brian, go ahead.
Hey, I'm here.
All right.
So we have to print off the syllabus to sign it. Can it email it?
Yes, unless you have PDF capabilities, you can. I think it's posted as a Word doc, or I think actually as a Word doc, and so you could sign it as a Word doc. You have that capability, or print it off and sign it. If you have PDF capabilities, you can convert it to a PDF. And then if you have the, I guess, I don't know if it's a Pro one or it's just a regular version, you can sign that on there. So either way, somehow sign it. Is that help, Brian?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Brian, did I have you in class before?
I had the first design class like 2 years ago.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
The first name was familiar. I just couldn't pick up on the last name. So welcome back. Glad to have you back.
All right. Likewise.
All right. Okay. So that's assignment number 2 is the master title block. I didn't see any other questions posted and or any other hands raised, so we'll move ahead. Lab 3, assignment number 4. Before you do that, open the attached PowerPoint landscape part 1 overview, read all the PowerPoint presentation, and then start assignment number 4. So assignment 4 for site analysis. There's a little video on it. It's a YouTube video. I didn't make that one. And then also there's some sketching on this. And so you'll need to review all this information before you create a site analysis and SWOT. Now, SWOT, you'll learn what SWOT is, but the analysis on that, not the actual sketch, but the SWOT analysis is done in a Word document. That will not require a title block and border, therefore not require a project number. All right. All right. A bunch of information and develop the SWOT analysis of the sketch assignment 4. So you'll have an initial sketch of the site, and what is that going to be? So it's going to be of your front yard. If you don't have a front yard, go to a friend's front yard. If you don't have a friend, go to a neighbor. I wouldn't suggest just walking up to a house and start sketching the front yard. You might get some questions. So find a front yard and you're going to sketch it from a plan view, just looking straight down on it. You're going to estimate some distances, some dimensions, just estimate. You're not going to pull out a tape measure yet. All right. You put what is existing there. A quick outline of the house, and a sketch is just estimated. All right. It's not to scale, but you will be hand drawing the title block and border. You won't be printing out the CAD one. You'll hand draw the title block and border, which size sheet? It's on 8.5 by 11. So you'll hand draw this title block and border, which is not very well centered. I apologize. I don't know what happened on that. But you'll draw a 1/4 inch border, and I don't have the note on that. So if you want to make a note, all the borders on the 8.5 by 11, 11 by 17, these are 1/4 inch borders. You will hand draw that, nice straight lines, measured 1/4 inch border, measured 1 inch high title block, divide that in half. You'll hand print in pencil. All this will be pencil, project name, project number, etc., etc. You fill all that out, and you'll do a freehand sketch of the front yard. Your front yard, neighbor's front yard, friend's front yard, whatever. Again, a plan view, just a rough sketch. Here's a basic outline of the house. Here's a tree at the corner, say, and it's estimated at 3 feet away, 5 feet away. Here's a little planter border. Here's a concrete walkway. Here's a concrete drive, etc., etc. There's grass. There's no grass. There's wannabe grass. There's some weeds. Just a quick sketch on that with estimated distance. And so take a look at these videos, and then you will sketch that on 8.5 by 11, title block and border. Take a look at the examples on page 7 of your text, landscape graphics, and that will give you an example how the trees are drawn. Again, estimate the dimensions, distances. They are required on the sketch, but they are estimated. Don't pull out a tape measure as yet. Then you're going to use some colored pencils to color that in to the best of your ability. And I know a lot of you are going like, I'm not an artist. This is not an art class. True, it's not, but it is a landscape class, and they still use colored pencils in representation on projects. That sketch will be 25 points, 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, title block and border completely filled out. And then you're going to go to the assignment number 5 in lab 4, assignment 5, develop a SWOT analysis. All right. So you'll find out what a SWOT analysis is: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And then you're going to write up a Word document. Right here it says a Word document, and submit it as a PDF for 25 points. All this will be coming in as one email, one packet email before, on or before the 26th at 12:30 p.m. All right. So now the big question is, how did I do? Any questions on that? Ryan, go right ahead.
Does the time of the email daily have any bearing? I'm unable to get on it early in the morning. Is it okay? It's after 12:30.
The timing. So on your submission, is that what you're asking?
On the daily check-in
The
attendance.
daily check-in, yes, before 12:30. So if you have to be to work or something, just get up early and send it before, if you're going to watch the recording, just get up early and send it before 12:30 in the afternoon. It doesn't matter when it comes in, as long as it's before 12:30 of that day, because I use it for record. Is that good? Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. Good question. Thank you for asking that. For those of you who had my class before, we used to sign the attendance sheet, remember? And that's how I would take attendance. That was my record of record keeping. I have to have some documentation. It's required by TCC, and so this is the way I've chose to do it. It's a lot more work for me because I respond back, or I try to respond back for attendance within 24 hours. I try to respond back to all emails within 24, but when we get a class this size, we have a total of 15 or 16 in the class. When we start the packages, the assignments, start coming in, sometimes it takes a little bit more than 24 hours to get everything graded and I do respond to every single email, whether it's just a thumbs up or a thank you or any details that I might put in there, but I try to respond back to every single email that comes in. So it's a little more work for me, but it's a good way to do documentation. And hopefully, it's a good way for communication back and forth. You can feel like you can ask some questions or whatever. I'm all about communication anyway. Online environment, I'm even more about it. So any way I can improve this, you let me know. I'm all ears on it. As you can see, I'm large, all ears. So, and in this case, all eyes too. Anything else? You guys are awfully quiet. Scaring me.
Are all the, excuse me,
Go ahead, this guy.
are all the landscape part 1, part 2, part 3, are those all loaded and ready to go?
The attachments up here?
Yeah, the attachments.
Yes, those are all set to go.
Okay.
And there might be one more PowerPoint I might have to put in. Let's see. No, I actually not, because the intro doesn't count as one. So usually I have 4 for the week because I try to do one PowerPoint per day. Yeah, everything is ready to go, Larry, on that.
Okay.
Catherine, you have a question? Go ahead.
Oh, hi, sorry. Is there the syllabus sent out of a PDF? Because I can't change the format. I can't save it in anything else but a PDF, and I don't have access to a scanner.
Okay, right. I will post it up here on under packet 1
Okay.
as a Word document.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And I should have. I apologize. I thought I did, but I missed that on Thursday evening. So I will get that up there definitely for you and anybody else who doesn't have a converter. Definitely thank you for that question, James. Coming. Let's see. James says, I'll email any questions I run into, but I have have none now. Okay, thanks, James. Oh, there's scanner apps for the phones. And some work. Well, thank you, James, for that. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I guess they work kind of like the barcode scanners as well. Didn't think about that. Thanks, James. That's a good point. Appreciate you bringing that up. All right. I appreciate the communication saying that you don't have any questions right now. So yeah, and email me. I'll have I have office hours, so I'm here after class from 3:30 to 4:30 for any emails, and then I start again looking at your emails at 11:30 the next day, Monday through Thursday, 11:30 to 12:30, 3:30 to 4:30. And I usually hang around a little bit after class. If there's anybody still in class, you can ask questions after 3:15. All right, some good questions, some good comments. Brittany, James, Zach, all of you. Dimon, thank you. Larry, thank you for commenting. Brian, some good questions. It really helps everybody, not just you, but and it helps participation too. I don't know about you guys, but man, this environment's tough. I mean, I know some of you are quiet anyway. I remember a lot of you, and it's kind of quiet anyway. So in class, at least I could read your faces. Unless they were face planted on the desk and you were asleep, and it was hard to read it. But I could, could read your faces if you're getting it, if you're not. But here, I'm staring at this box, and it's if you don't put a comment over here, I'm like kind of lost. So I appreciate all the comments that come in, even if just a thumbs up, like Zach just, a thumbs up. Oh, well, Zach either hit thumbs up by accident or he's really listening. So. So I appreciate that. All right. Kind of quiet, so no more questions on the assignments for the week. It is 2:35. You have, and I would take advantage of this time. You go like, I'm going to do this stuff later and bolt. That's up to you. I'm not controlling in that way and have you guys check out and what time you check out. But I would take advantage at least till 3:15 and knock some of this stuff out. I'll get the syllabus posted up there as a Word doc if you don't have PDF. Now, that was just kind of interesting.
Thank you.
All right, who is that? Larry?
Yeah, I said thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, I'll be here till 3:15 with any questions. I'll keep monitoring it. I'm going to turn the recording off. I'll turn my mic off and the camera off and just post any questions. I'll either come on with the mic if I can get it to reboot. Sometimes that's hard to get it to reboot. I really appreciate all your time today, but please work on your assignments at least till 3:15. And as always, it's a pleasure. I'm excited about this landscape class. I love landscaping. I love working with students, even so it's remotely. You guys are a great group, and I really look forward to the semester. So thanks today for your time, and I'll be here till 3:15 and talk to you tomorrow if I don't talk to you in the next few minutes. Take care. See you, Zach. Thank you.